Hi guys, welcome back to Viestelook. Doesn't that sound so 2015? There was a phase when I always started out my videos like this. Welcome back to Viestelook! And I kind of want to start including my channel name in my intros again just because I find that not many people know how to say my channel name. And I totally understand because when you look at the name, it is pretty complicated. Just want to clear things up a bit, and I know that there are new viewers here. I'm sure the regular ones and the ones who've been following me for a while now know, but to the new ones, hi! Welcome to the Viestelook family. So I just want to use this video to chat with you guys and to sort of skim over just the surface of the different Korean, the more of the popular ones. I'm not going to go over every single one. Of course, that'll take like hours, maybe days, because there's so many out there. What I think and what are their target age groups. For example, Laneige.
어때? 각질까지 클렌징 하니까 투명해졌지? 나처럼. 라네즈 프레쉬 브라이트닝 클렌징 오일. 라네즈.
18 years old up to 25. That's about the Laneige age. You might find different numbers here and there, but approximately that's the age group Laneige is targeting. Okay. So, but that doesn't mean that if you're 13, you won't like Laneige, or if you're 29, you won't like Laneige. That's not what they're saying. It's just what people in the age group tend to look for. They just cater to that. So I first tried Laneige when I was 20, and I thought that I would love that brand just because just the way they were marketing it, the water bank line, and I had such high hopes for this line just because I have really, really dry skin, and I've had dry skin my whole life, ever since I was little. Oh, why do I keep eating my hair? And so I decided to try Laneige water bank. And I was kind of disappointed because it didn't do much for my skin. So I was like, oh, this kind of sucks. So I decided to try the other line called White Plus Renew. And again, didn't do much for my skin. Moving on. So when I was 23, that's the year that I lived in Korea, and I decided to give the Amore Pacific family another chance. So the Amore Pacific family has many brands. They own many, many brands. But the main three are Laneige, Iope, and Sulwhasoo. So I've tried Laneige when I was 20. At 23, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna up my game and try its older sister, Iope.
슈퍼바이탈 크림 진짜 좋냐고. 나이 들면 칙칙함, 주름, 탄력 다 신경 쓰이잖아요.
Its target audience is aimed at like 25 to 35. Iope products are definitely more rich. It's a lot more moisturizing, so it tends to keep my skin a lot more happier. All about the skin kind of commercial. But you can definitely tell a difference between the Laneige spokesperson and the Iope spokesperson that they use. Moving on up the ladder.
세안 후 처음 바른 윤조 에센스가 흐트러진 피부 균형을 맞춰 윤기 가득한 피부로.
Sulwhasoo is Iope's older sister, and Sulwhasoo is a brand targeted to individuals from 35 and up. Now, even though it's for 35 and up, there are many, many Korean skincare lovers, including myself, who's tried Sulwhasoo products in their mid-20s or their late 20s, and it still works perfectly well. It's amazing because it's really moisturizing. Since Sulwhasoo is targeted for more mature skin, and do know that with skin, the older you get, the drier your skin gets. One of my favorite products by them is the overnight mask. It smells like fresh ginger. I talked about it in probably 2 or 3 of my favorites videos before. You guys probably know what I'm talking about. There is another company, you guys have probably heard, LG. LG also makes cosmetic brands, and they own a lot of different cosmetic brands. They're the competitors of Amore Pacific. So they made a brand to compete with Amore Pacific's Sulwhasoo, and it's called History of Who. But when you think of this brand, if you've ever sort of came across this name, you're probably thinking it's a very expensive very luxurious, very high-end brand, which it is.
진 공진 비단 새롭게 태어나 피부의 시간을 멈추리라.
왕후의 얼굴선은 아래로 향하지 않는 법.
공진향 기엔진 크림 후.
Its goal is to provide hydration, obviously, and anti-aging properties because its targeted audience is, again, like Sulwhasoo 35 and up. Their skincare line is based on Oriental medicine. And they sell that by saying ingredients so good that like that's what empresses used back then type thing. And I can believe that. Like way back, if you had money, you probably, bought a lot of Oriental medicine to drink, to eat, and to put on your skin. Yeah, like that. And I find that it's really cool that History of Who is able to bring that into modern skincare. Apparently, a lot of Oriental medicine is proven to help with anti-aging and things like that. So, And when you watch the History of Who commercial, it gives you that really gives you that funny, tingly feeling up your spine. It has this really mysterious, I don't want to say creepy, but mysterious in a good way. And the way they say their brand name at the end is like, History of Who. I can't do it. They're like,
Who.
Moving on to the next brand, it's Skin. I don't know how to say it like that, but I have to be like, it's Skin. It's just Skin. It's Skin. The brand is a skincare brand created by a dermatologist who went to Iope University in Seoul National University. And he decided to create this line to really add hydration to the skin.
달팽이 크림 그녀에게 새 피부를 주다.
Believe it. It's Skin.
One thing I really love about this brand is that it's really luxurious. It really mastered that experience where it gives you the high-end spa feel. And just by looking at its skin commercial, you can really get a sense of that where it's really luxurious. Its skin is targeted to individuals 25 to 40. Now moving on to a brand that I visited a lot while I was in Korea. It's only found in department stores in Korea like Lotte and Shinsegae. And every time I find myself wandering into a department store on the weekends, I always end up at this counter just admiring their products. And this brand is called Hera. I did manage to try some of their foundations, and one of my favorite go-tos in Korea was the Hera HD foundation. The HD foundation looked amazing in photos and videos, but it didn't look cakey and thick on the skin. It's able to give you that flawless, poreless finish at the same time with that glow.
핑크 립스틱 왜 떠보일까? 피부 속의 조명을 탁 켜보세요. 세포를 밝혀 얼굴빛을 살려주는 헤라 화이트 프로그램 이펙터. 당신은 더 빛날 수 있어요.
So the target age group for Hera is 25 to 35. Now, speaking of their former spokesperson, Kim Tae-hee, she is now with another brand called OHUI. And every time I say that name, I'm like, oh, that's such a cute name. OHUI.
날씨가 예상되는데요. 오늘 낮 동안에는 33도까지 오르면
Individuals 25 to 35, and they're really, really known for their sunblock. Whoever I ask in Korea, I'll be asking my Korean friends and Korean coworkers, hey, what's the best sunblock out there? And all of them say OHUI. So if you're looking for a good sunblock this summer, check out OHUI. OHUI is also found at department stores in Korea like Lotte, Shinsegae, and I would say it's a competitor, a direct competitor to Hera. So now that we spent some time talking about mid-end to high-end brands, let's move on over down to the low-end / drugstore brands. These low-end brands in Korea all have, well, not all, but most of them have a storefront. Unlike drugstore brands here, where they're just kind of sitting at drugstores, right? Like Revlon, Maybelline, they all kind of sit together at CVS, Target, Walmart. But in Korea, they have their own storefronts. And they're very good at marketing those too, because Etude House, for example, looks like a playhouse. So it gives you that happy experience. I don't know, every time I walk into Etude House in Korea, I'm like, oh, this is so cute. You can find that name, that store, pretty much on every corner, I feel like, especially if you're in Central Seoul, it's everywhere. And it's always packed with teenage girls. You'll see during the school year, these girls in school uniforms still, they finish school and they're like, tuk, 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 tuk. They'll like hang out as a big group and they're like giggling over, you know, Lee Min-ho standing outside. Of course, not the real one. I wish. It's a blown up full-size Lee Min-ho plastic form standing outside every single Etude House. So he was the spokesperson for Etude House that year. That attracted many females, not just teenage girls, but 20s, 30s, 40s, all the way up, okay, to go rush into Etude House. So when you watch this Etude House commercial, you'll definitely get a feel of who their target audience is. And even without watching the commercial, like just by looking at its logo, its packaging, you'll figure it out, right?
사랑이 성큼, 심장이 쿵. Etude.
That's who their targeted audience is. Their target buyers is teenage girls. So their commercials really reflect that. Like your first time falling in love with your friend at school, you know, hanging out with your crush at the library. All the commercials are sort of related to that. Or either that or they're like playing in a kind of like a dress-up playhouse type look. And one of my favorite products from Etude House is their eyeshadow primer. I would call that a dupe for my Urban Decay eyeshadow primer potion, and the Etude House one is a fraction of the price. Let's talk about brands that you guys probably see at the mall often. The Face Shop. The Face Shop is also a low-end drugstore brand. So it's really cool to see them have a storefront here in North America. Pretty much at every single major mall you go to, you'll see like the Face Shop there. I wouldn't say I'm a big fan of the Face Shop personally. I haven't really found anything that I love from that brand, unfortunately. And that brand, surprisingly, is not as popular in Korea as they seem here in North America. There are certain brands, Korean brands, that do spend a lot more money marketing to the Western world than others. So the ones that you haven't heard as much doesn't mean that they're not popular. They might be really, really popular in Korea, but they didn't spend as much time, as much money marketing it to the Western world. But there are brands like the Face Shop and Moly, they really spent the money and just to like push it out there to you guys and make it known in the Western world. You know, Moly being at Sephora really helped them. Being at Urban Outfitters really helped them. The Face Shop, I would say, is kind of equivalent to the Body Shop here, where like the brand name is known, like everybody has heard of it, but quality of products is So that's it for this Korean cosmetic brand chat. If there's a specific brand that you want me to talk about, just to share my experience and what I know about it in detail, leave it down in the comments below. I think that's about it. Don't forget to follow me on my social media platforms. I'm on Snapchat every day, by the way. All my media platforms at Viestelook, all across the board. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you very soon in my next one. Bye!